Good evening. Thank you for joining us on The Pulse tonight. We start with the President of the Association of Mining and Construction Union, Joseph Mathunjwa, calling on government to force cuts to the salaries for CEOs in the mining sector. Mathunjwa was speaking at the 10-year commemoration of the Marikana Massacre today. He says it's ridiculous that mine workers are living in shacks and CEOs earn more than the President. Our reporter, Refiloe Seboko, is in Marikana with the latest. Refiloe, good afternoon to you. What kind of point is Joseph Mathunjwa making here?
Well, just what you touched on, Stephen, that it is really ridiculous that some mine workers are still living in shacks. As he mentioned, that more than 20,000 mine workers of Lonmin are staying in the informal settlement, and he did touch on that having to be changed because mine workers, they deserve better. And he also touched on if one wants to address an issue of unemployment in the country, they must take license of miners and give them to black people. And he touched also on issues of that there should not be any mines that will be operating without developing the areas. Things like schools and clinics and hospitals should be built for the people that are living in that area. And he said that that's how inequality will be addressed in the country. What we touched on, Stephen, a little bit earlier, the issue which is the call from mine workers as well, as saying that the 16th of August should be declared an official Workers' Day. Joseph Mathunjwa saying yes, they do acknowledge the 1st of May, which is the Workers' Day. However, they also feel like the 16th of August should be declared officially so as Workers' Day. And we also touched on Marikana Massacre, saying that it looks like it's been commercialized as people are writing books about the Marikana Massacre. However, nobody is taking out money to make sure that especially the widows are being assisted, and the kids of those people that have died, the mine workers that have died, are being assisted. You'll understand, Stephen, 12,500 rand was that which mine workers were calling to say that that is the wage, the salary that they want. However, Mathunjwa saying that this year they are demanding a basic salary of 20,000 rand. They have long passed the 12,500 rand salary demand, and which is what he touched on his speech just before we went on air with you. What's going to happen right now, Stephen? We understand that the widows will be laying a wreath. They were given those wreaths by Bishop Paul. The speech was ended by Joseph Mathunjwa.
We're back to her now.
And they'll be good.
And Refiloe, we lost you for a moment there, but just the mood there, 10 years on from perhaps the worst moment in our democracy. How are people feeling?
Look, people are still very hurt, Stephen, by what happened 10 years ago. They are still very much so pained by that. Some are saying it wasn't necessary at all, seeing that some of the mine workers there, they had their hands up, and was it really necessary for them to be shot on that day? Some are saying it wasn't at all, as some were just really just demanding for a better life. Some are saying it's not as painful and as heavy as it used to be 10 years back, as they are singing some songs that they are saying it's healing to them, as they remember now in good memories that they had with their colleagues that have passed on. They're saying they're not going to forget how painful it was to see a lot, that amount or number rather of people dying on that day. However, it gets better as time goes by. However, 10 years down the line, they still did not feel that a lot needs to be done.
We'll leave that for the moment. Refiloe Seboko, thank you for that live report.